SmackDown, Matty T, and you for the next couple of hours. Also will include Bob Holt from the Democrat Gazette, Mike Neighbors, Arkansas head women's basketball coach. We'd actually scheduled Nabes 2 days ago before the controversy of yesterday, which we will get into in just a moment. You know what's really cool about what's happening in the last day or so, SmackDown and Matty T?
Yes, sir.
All of the Arkansas head coaches of the sports we usually talk about had public statements, Zoom press conferences, stuff like that. You know, you've got basketball practicing now, just started practice yesterday, both Eric Musselman and Mike Neighbors speaking with media. Of course, you had Sam Pittman talk with the media on Monday, and then yesterday at the SEC teleconference. And Dave Van Horn this morning at a Zoom press conference because the baseball team announced they'll be having the Fall World Series begin tomorrow. Goodness gracious, tomorrow. And all these games, except for tomorrow's game, will be quasi-televised. So I guess it's been since probably like early in the pandemic, the last time we heard from all of the four big sports head coaches at the University of Arkansas. And, you know, and I was about to say maybe that means good things are coming, but it happens the same day that you get some very interesting and kind of punch-in-the-gut news across college football. Now, remember, SmackDown, one of the things we mentioned yesterday was how now COVID has come to the SEC, and this was before the really big news that came out yesterday afternoon before our show was completed of Nick Saban and Greg Byrne coming down with the COVID virus. But already on Monday, you'd had Vanderbilt and Missouri postponed. Yesterday, the official announcement of Florida and LSU postponed. Right as we were wrapping the show up, we saw the quote from Lane Kiffin about some problems with COVID numbers for the Ole Miss football team. He says that if the game was held yesterday, they'd still be able to play, but there's another round of testing for the Rebels that they'll have to undergo, I think, tomorrow, the day before the game. So I think that Saturday's game is still up in the air, I think, as far as we're concerned for Arkansas and Ole Miss. Got to have I don't know if I would put it, if the game were classified as an injury, like a football injury SmackDown, I don't know if I would put it in doubtful. I'd put it in questionable category. Maybe probable, but it's not full throttle, 100% yes, we're playing. You know, and then, I mean, I guess there's a symbolism to the idea of Nick Saban coming down with the virus. You know, somebody who is generally regarded as one of the top two head coaches currently in college football, maybe the greatest college football coach of all time, a guy that always seems to be invincible. I mean, when your program is referred to as the Death Star and the Empire, I remember there was a moment as a child, SmackDown, I thought Darth Vader was invincible. We found out to be quite wrong. And apparently Nick Saban isn't invincible either. There's a symbolism to it. It's just one guy. Alabama, you know, they apparently don't have problems on their team necessarily with the virus, but when it's Nick Saban that comes down with it, that just seems to resonate a lot more. And it does, I don't know, it worries me a little bit more about the ability to get through the football season to an SEC championship game and a college football playoff.
It really should, just because when that came across my phone, I kind of did a double take yesterday. I was like, really? Him? But when you look at it across the whole, I believe he was the 5th or 6th reported head coach that has gotten it so far. But still, and I'm not trying to deter it. It's a big deal. This is no knock against anybody else. It's different if this was Kirby Smart getting it versus anybody else or something like that. It's Nick Saban. It's the face of the SEC. It's the face, arguably, of college football, of NCAA sports. When you think college sports, Nick Saban is one of the first 3 names that'll come out of anybody's mouth. And it's a big deal when he gets it. And you certainly hope that he's feeling well. I mean, all the reports that we've seen to this point, he is asymptomatic at this point. He's feeling fine. So maybe it was if you're being positive about it, maybe it was a false positive. I think I read a thing on Sports Illustrated or ESPN. He's taken another rapid test this morning to confirm that if it was positive or negative. So a lot to be up in the air about at this point. But for a second yesterday when the news was breaking and you saw Paul Feinbaum come out and break the news on his show, and you could tell the sad. Obviously it's sad just because of anybody getting COVID, but with him getting it, and that I did a deep breath yesterday. I was like, are we fixing to? Are we heading south right now, or is this just a little big speed bump that we just went over?
That's what I mean. There's a symbolism to it.
Absolutely.
The same idea as if, like, John Calipari came down with it, or Coach K. There's just a symbolism attached to it. Belichick, those sort of. And again, it's not to like put one person's value over anybody else, but there is a symbolism to the person who you always view as invincible or the best in a field. So, and again, I mean, whether the game is played or not, I think we'll find out tomorrow. It does lead to a certain level of intrigue that, it's not like the Georgia-Alabama game didn't already involve a level of intrigue and just the fact that it probably is going to be the best college football game in the season. Now you've got something else on top of it. Like, will he or won't he be there? Will he or won't he be able to find a way to communicate from where he's got a quarantine during the game, if that's the case? And for those who think that if he's home, he's not going to find a way to communicate to the coaches, I've got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you then. And he will. I mean, and then there's the other aspect of what we opened this up with here. Is the Arkansas-Ole Miss game even going to happen? And if it does happen, we have no idea what players for the Rebels are affected by this. None. It could be any of them. It could be Matt Corral. It could be Elijah Moore. It could be Jerrion Ealy. It could be the third-string long snapper. Who knows? But if they have if Lane Kiffin is saying we are having problems with our numbers right now, it could be anybody, and it's probably some starters on a couple of spots. So, you haven't heard the same sort of stuff from Arkansas. It does seem that the Razorbacks have been successful for the most part,
proactive
at keeping everybody healthy away from the virus. But it's really just 4 weeks into the season, and knowing for a fact that, from what Nick Saban was describing how he handled himself during this pandemic, he's been out front about mask wearing and about not even hugging his mother, on a commercial because he said he loves her. So, I mean, it's just a reminder anybody can get this under the circumstances of where you're very careful. And hey, that's what we're dealing with right now. Does that mean we shouldn't play football? I wouldn't go that far. But this week has been, not really just this week, yesterday was just a day that unnerves me a little bit. Not just for the football season, but also because we're starting to talk basketball now with Muss's team and Nabes' team starting practice yesterday. And again, we do have Mike Neighbors later on the show. I mean, you got to worry about the ability to make it through the basketball season, too, and the baseball season. This is just the start of the athletic calendar year for Arkansas and everybody else. So here we are, middle of October, literally the Ides of October, the 15th. We've been playing football for 3 weeks, and we have 2 postponed games, possibly a third, and the best head coach in the league is dealing with the virus.
It's a punch in the face. I mean, to be completely blunt. I mean, but they should. I mean, hopefully they have the protocols in place, and you brought up the Ole Miss testing aspect of it and how many players are affected. If I'm not mistaken, they're going to be doing another round of testing today. That's right? Did they do it Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday? I believe
they got a test on Friday.
Friday.
That's always the day before a game. It's the more rapid test, which I think is also the test that is more liable to be a false negative or a false positive. That's what happened to Baylor. Baylor postponed their game Saturday against Oklahoma State. Somebody got on the plane, according to Mack Rhodes, the Baylor AD. Somebody got on the plane to West Virginia the week before that had tested negative. It turned out it was a false negative. Ended up spreading the virus all through the plane. And so, hey, they held to their protocols. They held to their testing, and it still ended up getting all over that team, the Baylor Bears. 877-377-6963, the number to get on halftime. And again, we have Bob Holton, 20 minutes. Mike Neighbors at 12:30. You for the rest of the show. And we're coming back right after this with an Alexander Dumas of the week. Stay tuned.
I love love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield, the 40, the 30, College at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
As you can tell, this means a lot,
Only on ESPN 95.3.
The month of October, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October.
We also offer in-store no-credit check financing, delivery service, and service after the sale. At Frankfurt Furniture, we are family-owned, and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made-in-the-USA products as possible.
Remember, in October, no sales tax at Frankfurt Furniture, your made-in-the-USA headquarters. Frankfurt Furniture, best seats in the house.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
West Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements, plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP, at Matt Travis, and at Matt Jenkins 44.
The best bad decision I ever made.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Smackdown.
Well, we got another postponed football game. I think this is number 31 college football season. Cincinnati and Tulsa postponed. 8th ranked Cincinnati postponed because of COVID issues with the Bearcats and quarantining of athletes at the school. This according to A release right from the American Athletic Conference, rescheduled to Saturday, December 5th. Tulsa's been postponed like 2 or 3 times this year. Not a lucky thing for them to keep getting postponed over and over again.
Is Houston able to play this weekend? Was it Houston that they finally got their game off last weekend, wasn't it? That been postponed like 5 or 6 separate times?
That's right. I don't ever think it was an issue with Houston's team. It was
all their opponents.
It was the opponents.
Yeah.
And also maybe issues around the city of Houston at the same time. Quick change here, though, on the topics. Do you realize it's going to be 33 degrees tonight in Fayetteville? We are inching towards the moment where your glass of water that is sitting outside that you leave out there is going to freeze over overnight.
And every fat man in Arkansas, every fat man in America is clapping and rejoicing right now.
I don't think it's going to be that cold in Fort Smith, though. It's going to be 10 degrees warmer here.
Is it?
According to my weather.
I say 43 is just as good as anything. I did see on the forecast, though, where there's a frost advisory sometime this weekend, I think I saw. But, no, it's going to be cold, but it's going to be a perfect weather weekend. It's going to be.
Come on up. Well, come on up here, man, and let me cool you down. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I think there's a syndrome called Raynaud syndrome.
Yeah.
Like my fingers and hands always get ridiculously cold. They feel like icicles. Like I'm not even allowed to touch anybody because I've got the reverse Midas touch. I'm like the princess from Frozen. And I don't mind cold weather. I like sleeping in it, and I actually like it better than.
Do you like running in it?
5 degrees. I can run in it. I can bike in it. But there's something about this thing with my fingers. Like I could hold a baseball and literally turn this thing into a ball of ice, just because of the weather right now. You know, one way though to warm the hands up, though, SmackDown.
Yes.
You go to B-Dubs because they cook the wings there. They actually fry them. They're delicious, and depending on the sauce you get. Might actually just be able to warm your hands up with the sauce in and of itself.
How warm did you get after doing the Carolina? Were you warm, or like if you'd have ate the Carolina Reaper in 33-degree weather, would that have made your experience any better?
My friend, I would have been able to cook an egg on the top of my head.
Okay, fair enough. You can head to B-Dubs today. I'm probably gonna make. I got some friends coming up this weekend. That was our college pit stop back at Arkansas Tech in Russellville. To go to B-Dubs, and you got all the different options there. You got the smoked brisket burger. You've got the cauliflower wings with Zing Zang sauce. There are 4 new sauces, which the Carolina Reaper, lemon sauce, pizza sauce, and think of something that I hadn't even been mentioning on here because I forgot about it. The orange sauce, Maddie. If you get the orange sauce, you get a fortune cookie with it.
That sounds good.
So you can get the fortune cookie with that. You can head to B-Dubs today. You can find locations in Little Rock, Sherwood, Fort Smith, Jonesboro, and in Conway, Arkansas, and that's only at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I wonder if that fortune cookie could tell me whether or not there's going to be a Razorback game this weekend so we can get the programming going.
You want to get out your 8-ball. Remember the shaky 8-ball thing? It would tell you probably to I don't even remember some of the answers on that, but I mean, that,
ask again later.
The 8-ball's guess is as good as anyone else right now.
Exactly. It's the best thing to do.
All right. I wanted to get into the Duma of the week here, and I know the guys yesterday afternoon mentioned on their show, well, for very good reason. I did not schedule Mike Neighbors for today's show because of the issue of what happened yesterday. I scheduled him 3 days ago before that tweet from the radio guy in the former radio guy in Fort Smith even came out. So I would be remiss, especially as the announcer for the women's basketball team at Arkansas, if I didn't mention this, even though I think you know exactly what we're getting to. Hit it.
And I was wondering what Dumas would make of all this. Come again. Alexandre Dumas. He wrote The Three Musketeers.
Are you stupid or something?
Are you stupid? I don't think so, no. Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid?
Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
What we're supposed to do, you moron?
Calm down. Have some dip.
Are you crazy or just plain stupid?
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
So you're a smart man who said some really stupid things.
Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas.
dumbass.
Dumas. You know what that's about?
We're talking about our idiot kicker who got liquored up and ran his mouth off.
You're so stupid!
Borrow the phrase there from Peyton Manning about getting liquored up and saying something stupid. So Arkansas women's basketball had their photo session. I think it was over the weekend because it's what happens. Just a few days before practice starts, it's time to promote this team, and you could see on their various social media feeds, they posted their photos individually, and they all look fantastic. They're great photos, and Erin Barnum, who is a sophomore out of Little Rock, posted a quad of photos of her around the scorer's table wearing an Arkansas uniform, showed off her hair in one of them, and just basically smiling, just taking pictures. And you probably saw the tweet from an account that no longer exists, from a guy who no longer works in radio, and there's no reason even mentioning his name. Fact is, I don't even know his name. I just know he used to be a country DJ in Fort Smith until yesterday. So he answers to Erin's tweet that she should have had a pole in the photo, as if that meant, I guess, he thought she should be a stripper. So this is the new Don Imus that happened from 15 years ago when he called the Rutgers women's basketball team a bunch of nappy-headed hoes. And it's not a matter of this is 2020 and this is not the way you speak to people now. This is not the way you speak to anybody. This isn't a matter of anybody that's got a daughter or anybody that's got a wife has to be insulted by something like that. This is asinine. This is not the way you treat anybody publicly on social media. B, this is not the way that you treat student athletes at any level, no matter what. And C, there's a term that's called be a mensch. It's a Yiddish term. Mensch essentially is the idea of just being a real grown up, like not a man, but just a grown up, understanding how to handle yourself. And when you put out a moment, when you put a tweet out like that, you can't act like you did not mean to insult. When you're insinuating, and look, hey, I don't have anything against strippers. Dancers this is a profession. So, I feel on the other hand, like, talking about the idea of you put a tweet out that says you look like a stripper, and that's demeaning to strippers too. These are professionals. They make money. They need jobs. But this is the point he's trying to make. He's trying to demean Erin through no reason whatsoever other than maybe that that she plays for a team he doesn't like, or that she's African American, or what. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's not how you treat anybody, especially a young collegiate athlete, which makes me wonder, like, how did the guy tweet to high school athletes recently? Yeah. And recently he also he quote tweeted one from me about my cat and said something nice about my cat. So the cat pretty much tweeted back to him and said GFYS. That's pretty much what we all think of him. So the Twitter account doesn't exist anymore. I was so impressed with the collective response from Arkansas women's basketball, which started with them communicating to Erin, letting her know, hey, we got you. This, we're side by side. You insult one, you insult all. And Mike puts out this tremendous statement later in the afternoon. The rest of the team tweeted right to the guy, let him know how much of an idiot he looked like. And the company that he works for fired him sometime yesterday afternoon. I hate the idea of somebody losing their job over a mistake, but this is an egregious mistake.
No,
this is not just a mistake. I didn't mean to tweet this. I didn't know what it meant. You did. It also does leave a lesson for us. I think you and me and Matty T and all of us could learn a lesson from here. And the idea is, think before you communicate. I was going to say think before you tweet. No.
Also,
think before you speak. Think before you Facebook, tweet, anything.
If you can't say something nice or tweet something nice, don't do it at all.
Isn't that like the golden rule or something? Huh. We learned that when we were kindergartners, I think. Oh, okay.
I know. Well, that's our Dumas of the week, and we'll leave it at that. Bob Holt from the Democrat Gazette next on Halftime.
Everything on social media these days, you can believe it's possible to start a new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months from the comfort of your own home, even if you have zero computer experience. Instead of waiting to see what happens when life gets back to normal, take control of your future now. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Pros today have to do whatever the job calls for, and the Home Depot is here to help make that easier. With a wide range of delivery options, you can get what you need, from job lot quantities to small supply runs, delivered where and when you need it. Don't want to buy the tool? Rent it. We've got the most innovative products and more ways for pros to find them, in-store and online. Pros are changing, so are we. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7. RandallFord.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Are you ready to take the next step? Want to make real money? How about averaging $2,800 per week? United Welding Institute is accepting new students to shape into high-paid career welders. Graduates of United Welding Institute find great-paying jobs in the oil field, power plants, refineries, pipelines, and more. United Welding Institute in Pottsville, Arkansas has been training professional field-tested welders since 2013. Change your life and call 479-968-3390 or visit UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
It's hot tub season, so why not invest in your own backyard oasis with Burton Pools and Spas? Hi, Tommy Kraft here. There's no better way to relax after a hard day at work or a rough workout at the gym than with a hot spring spa. And right now, Burton Pools and Spas has everything you need. Hot tubs starting as low as $28.95, and these prices include delivery, cover, and startup chemicals. Hot tubs are great for reducing stress, those achy muscles that won't go away, and helping you get a better night's sleep. Also, check out the Endless Pool Fitness Systems with Burton Pools and Spas, a great way to swim year-round and stay healthy in your pool. Ask about it at Burton Pools and Spas. Also, look at the great end-of-season deals on pool accessories, big green eggs, and outdoor living furniture. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, they're your source for backyard fun.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
Costello going to throw on second down. Has time underneath. Intercepted. That's Brooks at the 35 to midfield. He's got a chance to go to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas! Greg Brooks with a pick six, and the Hawks strike first.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Smackdown.
A nice little intro here on National Grouch Day. Today is the National Grouch. I feel like that should be Tuesdays for Get Off My Lawn.
Yeah.
Or I should have been doing this show in a trash can, just like Oscar. So it is National Grouch Day, but let's bring on someone who is the opposite.
I was going to say, this is a great segue.
Absolutely. In fact, he is the magnanimous Bob Holt.
Magnanimous?
Magnanimous, defined as generous in forgiving an insult or injury, free from petty resentfulness or vindictiveness. Bob, I've gotten to know you a little bit in the last 10, 12 years. I think magnanimous describes you very, very well. So welcome onto the show today. How are you?
I'm very magnanimous. Thank you.
Well said. Well said. So I guess yesterday's teleconference was a little different than usual. Not in that you were speaking to all the coaches, because you usually do on Wednesdays, but I have a feeling that COVID had to have dominated over the conversation in ways that it hadn't since the start of the pandemic. 2 cancellations in the SEC for this weekend. We've got question marks about Ole Miss and Arkansas. So we're all nervous right now, I think, as SEC football fans, because it's in the 4th week, and here we are dealing with this in major ways. So what was the sense you got from speaking or listening to the coach's teleconference yesterday?
Well, yeah, when we were listening, they had not yet called off the Florida LSU game, though you certainly thought it was headed that way because, Florida had to suspend, I guess, football activities, meaning no practice on Tuesday. And then you're thinking, well, if they can't practice on Tuesday, how are they realistically going to practice on Wednesday? And then how are they going to play a game? So it was you were just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. And, Ed Orgeron, he's the very first he bats leadoff. And he basically said, they were prepared to play, but they also realized they might not play, and they just had to do whatever was best, for the players. And he certainly wouldn't. I think somebody said, well, you'd be surprised if this game gets postponed. He goes, no, not at all. And then Dan Mullen came on and was trying to backtrack from his statement of, I think he was just ticked off after they lost A&M. And it looked like the Aggies did have more than 23,000 or whatever. They're out watching some of the game. But he basically said repeatedly, we're going to pack the swamp, 90,000. That's what the governor says we can do. And, of course, none of the pro teams in Florida are packing their stadiums, and pretty quickly after he said that, because I think it was an 11 a.m. game, that by that afternoon or early evening, their AD, Scott Strickland, said, well, we're going to follow, our medical advisors. And, the governor of Florida isn't a doctor, I don't believe. And then, it's kind of ironic that he says, we're going to pack the stadium, or that's what he wants. And then there's going to be nobody at the stadium because there's no game. But he kind of backtracked. He didn't backtrack from it Monday. He kept saying, we're focused on LSU. I think he didn't want to admit that he screwed up. And then Wednesday he did some backtracking because I think he'd gotten hammered so much, looking like all he cared about was attendance, not about health, that he sort of, he said he wasn't. He apologized if he offended anybody. He said he just wanted a great atmosphere, but he's a really good football coach. But I thought what he said there repeatedly was pretty stupid. But that's never stopped some guys before, I guess. But it was wild. And then Nick Saban's on there, and he sounds just fine, just like always. And then a few hours later, it hits everywhere. Nick Saban's tested positive for COVID, so that was a shock. Although, he did a Zoom call last night. If you watched the SEC network, it was probably on other networks too, where he said he felt fine and he was directing practice, from home, basically watching video and on a phone with some manager saying, run that over again because so-and-so screwed that up. So it was a crazy day for sure. And you just felt like everything had been going so well in the SEC, no cancellations or postponements the first 3 weeks, and maybe this is just their weekend to have a lot of bad things happen.
Well, so we know we've got 2 cancellations. Maybe there's a third. Do we find out by the end of today, sometime tomorrow, about the future of Arkansas, Ole Miss? Because, the way Lane Kiffin mentioned it, it sounded like they could have played if the game was yesterday. There's a whole new round of testing that they've got to do. So as of right now, I tried to treat Saturday's game as if it was an injury, and I said, well, I don't know. I guess I'd put it at probable, somewhere between probable and questionable. Who knows? We also didn't even know who's affected by the virus for Ole Miss, and that could make Saturday's game swing wildly in the outcome. So Here we are 2 days ahead of what's supposed to be a homecoming football game, and still we have no idea whether or not Arkansas and Ole Miss will play.
Yeah, because, Lane Kiffin basically said yesterday that if they had to play that day, they could play. He said, we'd be okay, so let's hope that continues or something like that. But as you said, there's another round of testing. Alabama, Nick Saban said they were testing every day, testing players every day, testing him every day. And it just came up positive yesterday, like he got the word at 1 o'clock or something. But, so Ole Miss, they have to see how their tests go. Arkansas has to see how their tests go. I mean, Florida, they had sort of an outbreak early in the week, and they don't know if that was related to playing at Texas A&M. It does seem to be that if you travel some, you're just more exposed, whether it's, airplanes, hotels, buses, whatever. I mean, obviously, I'm sure those things are well sanitized, and the locker rooms are very small on the road usually for the visiting team. There could be some player who hasn't yet tested positive, and maybe he unknowingly infects some other guys. And of course, a lot of this contact tracing too. There's 2 guys who tested positive, but they take out 15 other guys for contact tracing. It's nobody's fault. I hope people don't look at this as, well, wow, that team messed up or those players messed up. I mean, it's a health crisis and people get sick, and I have to believe everybody's doing the best they can not to get sick. I mean, if Nick Saban gets sick, then anybody can get sick. I think that's the lesson here. So, yeah, people, if they want to see football this weekend, keep your fingers crossed.
Speaking of Bob Holt here on Halftime, Bob, I want to shift the conversation over to Basketball from Inc. You were part of the opening day, I guess probably the best way to do it, the press conference with Eric Musselman, Jalen Tate, and Justin Smith. What were some of your takeaways from that press conference? And I was several of your questions that you asked him, and I think it was the biggest question that I had, the competition in practice. I think that's going to be something that us fans will love to see, and I think the players are excited too. What were some of your takeaways from hearing those three speak yesterday?
Well, yeah, last year, Eric, I think they started the year with 9 healthy scholarship players. And then, Eric didn't have a real big rotation. Even when everybody was healthy, they might play 7, 8 guys top. Sometimes they basically relied on 6 guys, especially when Isaiah Joe was hurt. Mason Jones missed the game. Sometimes other guys were banged up. So, Eric did not have – they didn't do a lot of practice. I mean, they did a lot of teaching and scouting and the things like that, drills. They didn't do a whole lot of live contact scrimmage work because, one, they just couldn't afford to wear the guys out. They had to save their legs for the games, and 2, obviously the more you scrimmage, whether it's football, basketball, whatever, baseball, there's a chance you have a spraining an ankle or getting an elbow or basically getting hurt. So they were very careful last year to do the best they could to take care of the guys' bodies physically. And not that they want to go out there and have, everybody hurting each other, but, you've got better numbers, more depth, bigger guys, some more experience. Even losing Isaiah Joe and Mason Jones, they have a lot of experience with 3 senior grad transfers coming in. So I think, the practices will be more physical. They might be a little bit longer. They'll focus in more on scrimmaging. So that'll be interesting because, Eric's not going to play 12 guys, I don't think. He's about Nolan Richardson in that regard. So there's a lot of talent on this team, and there's only so many minutes to go around. So I do think it's going to be very competitive, and it'll probably give Eric some good flexibility where, depending on who they're playing, he can use different lineups based on size, speed, quickness, shooting, whatever the case may be that offers him or the Razorbacks the best match against that opponent in that particular game.
Shifted back for football just for a second. Right before we got you on, this is probably about 12:15, 12:20. Rakeem Boyd just tweeted out saying, and he did the Michael Jordan. He just said, "I'm back." So I'm taking that as that he is going to be in lineup this coming Saturday for the Razorbacks against Ole Miss. Assuming everything's a go, is he going to be the difference in the game to give the Razorbacks the W?
Well, he definitely could help. I mean, Traylon Smith, let's face it, he's done a great job filling in. He's leading the team in rushing, but Rakeem, is a really tough opener against Georgia. It'll be interesting to see what a guy like Najee Harris does this week against Georgia. So, Rakeem, I don't really put that opening game on him. He just ran into a great defense, best rushing defense in the country statistically. They're averaging like 38 rushing yards a game given up. And then, he got hurt pretty early in the Mississippi State game. And, of course, he didn't play last week. So, I think Rakeem is going to be very anxious, very motivated. Not that he wouldn't be anyway, but I think he'd be especially so But I think the combination of him and Smith, just like Ole Miss had two guys go over 100 yards against Alabama with Snoop Connor and Jerry Ailey. It's that's hard to believe that somebody would have 200-yard backs against Alabama, but it happened. So Arkansas needs to be able to do kind of Ole Miss with Alabama, or what Ole Miss did to Alabama in the rushing game. So yeah, that's great news. To have Rakeem Boyd back, and then hopefully they can get Traylon Burks and some other guys back too. But I think it's funny they try to keep the lid on injuries, and the guys go on social media all the time, which I think is great for us.
I tell you who I think is indispensable for this team, and maybe it's the same for so many other teams, but for a program that had absolutely no consistency or real leadership, I think certainly last year at quarterback, I thought Ty Storey did everything he could do as a leader 2 years ago with some limited talents. I think the most indispensable player on this team is Felipe Franks, and it's because of the way he carries himself. Listening to him on Sam Pittman Live last night, I think he just sounds like a leader, very intelligent, and the guy can play. And he's put together a couple of back-to-back really well-played games. If he goes down, there's nobody I trust at that position right now.
Well, yeah, he's had a great season so far, and you're so right about him bringing some much-needed stability to the quarterback. I mean, you have in 2 years 8 guys start. In the last 5 games last year, 5 different guys start. I mean, there was this, that's just not. I mean, I never heard anything like that, frankly, before. And I know injuries had something to do with it, but that was just kind of crazy. And then you have Felipe comes in. He's a very steady, cool customer. He's a 5th-year senior. He played really well in Florida. He didn't really lose the job. He got hurt. Then Kyle Trask came in and just played out of his mind. It happens sometimes, And so Felipe, he realized, well, if I want to, definitely start, I need to go somewhere else. And I give him credit for coming to Arkansas because, let's face it, things have not gone well here. On the one hand, that means he's got, pretty much he's the starter. It's his job to lose. The coach has made that clear, and he obviously did nothing to lose, and he's probably just impressed people even more with the way he's actually playing games. But, yeah, he's been quarterback's critical anyway, but with the instability they've had, he's been so important. And, yeah, you're right. If he got hurt, it'd be tough. It'd be tough for anybody to lose a starting quarterback. But I think it'd be especially tough for Arkansas in this situation.
Bob, we'll leave it there. Thanks, as always.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Bob.
you. And stay magnanimous, my friend, okay?
Okay, you guys take care. We'll see you.
Bob Holt. The magnanimous Bob Holt here on Halftime, as usual. Hey, don't forget, since the weather's changing, leaves are changing, getting colder, it's great RV weather. So head over to Wheels RV in Springdale and check out their latest new deals on top brands like Grand Design, Forest River Vibe, KZ Sportsman, and they have the Paradigm Fifth Wheel, the hottest new fifth wheel in the industry from Alliance RV. Plus, Wheels is the only lifetime warranty dealer in all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. They have factory-trained and certified technicians getting your RV on the road, new paint and collision center for your RV repair needs, and they get you top dollar for trades. Best deals on new RV in Northwest Arkansas. That's Wheels RV, 5 miles west off exit 72 on I-49 and under the Tawnytown Water Tower, plus wheelsrv.net. We wrap the first hour up right after this.
Whitson Morgan Motor Company, your 2020 Dealer Rater Dealer of the Year, has 4 great locations in the River Valley, giving you a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Choose from Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Chevrolet vehicles right now at Whitson Morgan Motor Company. See their reviews and compare with others. That many people can't be wrong. Visit Whitson Morgan in Clarksville, Ozark, and Russellville, or log on at whitsonmorgan.com for selections and great deals to serve you today.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Hertz Car Sales has been serving the River Valley for over 40 years and takes pride in offering exceptional service. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, crossover, or SUV, Hertz offers a big selection of the most popular brands. They're friendly, offer a no-pressure car shopping experience, and their vehicles are high quality and priced competitively. New inventory is arriving daily and trade-ins are always welcome. So make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard, give them a call at 783-1722, or check out their line of quality pre-owned vehicles at buyfromhertz.com.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Shelter agents Tiffany Newman or Warren Robertson about a free insurance review.
Ben Guerin Community Complex, the former First Tee of Fort Smith, is now open. Need a facility for your next civic or business event or a place for your next party? The newly remodeled facility at the Ben Guerin Community Complex has spacious rooms for your next meeting or birthday party, and you can take it outside to the remodeled deck for a cookout and enjoyable time. Take advantage of the practice facility and work on your game or get in a quick 9 holes of golf on the updated course. All this and more at the Ben Guerin Community Complex at Ben Guerin Park.
Hi, this is Melissa, owner of True Grit Running Company. There's nothing scarier than foot pain. Whether you're suffering from plantar fasciitis, bunions, or maybe you're just sore from being on your feet all day, we have something that can help you. From braces and massage tools to inserts and game-changing shoes handpicked for you, we've got you covered. Don't let hurting feet spook you. Visit us at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
Question keeps coming in about Nick Saban's record, depending on if he's actually at the stadium for the Georgia game or if he's home or not available to coach. Because as I understand, just by the NCAA rules, if he's not in the stadium, he's not allowed to make phone calls or Zoom calls to the press box or down to the field. That doesn't mean he can't text, right? That doesn't mean you can't at least find some way to communicate. I guess I'm just reaching a little bit. But the question is, since he's going up against Kirby Smart, and there's all this talk about Nick Saban against his former assistant coaches. What is it, 21-0 against former assistants?
Yeah, that sounds right.
After the victory over Ole Miss last week. So if he's not there, does the game count against his record? And I think we've got two different answers that are coming in here. Some people say yes, as long as he returns to coach Alabama later in the year. But I remember, we had this conversation with Ryan McGee from ESPN a couple of weeks ago about Johnny Majors. I remember Majors last year at Tennessee, 1992. He missed the first 3 weeks because of a heart ailment and came back to coach the last 8 games. Those first 3 games didn't go on his record. So there is precedent. I don't know. But here's the other thing, too. Let's say it would count against Saban's record, but he didn't really have a hand in calling plays or any of the substitutions. He didn't chew anybody out on the sidelines. it'd be an empty win against him on his record. You know what I mean? It's still a win over Alabama. Don't get me wrong, but you didn't necessarily coach against Nick Saban. You coached against Sark, who had his level of successes at Washington, and then other things happened at USC. So, I mean, I feel like it adds a level of intrigue to a game that didn't need it. Like, do you really need anything else on top of Alabama, Georgia, this, or any other year? But now the idea that Saban might not even be there, and heck, the athletic director probably won't even be there unless these are both negatives, then, gosh, that just this is a much different sort of game than you've ever heard of before. And like I heard the guys in the Rush wondering about this. Do you know, like, Saban will find a way to get inside the stadium? I don't see it.
I don't either.
I don't see it.
I mean,
I can't see a guy that's been so out front publicly about social distancing, about wearing the mask, about being cautious, to then, just because you can do it, force your way into the stadium. Yeah, I don't see him doing that.
Even if he did, let's just say it did happen, and then the ESPN cameras caught him, like if they had him in his own press box, nobody's around him, whatever it is. And like the precedent's been set, if you've got COVID, you're not coaching, whatever it is. The flashback, the repercussions of that happening would probably be severe against Alabama, just because, like, you're putting, obviously Saban's more important than COVID, or you see my point. So, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts if you're able to make that thing happen, which I don't think they will. And truthfully, I don't know how much, and this may come out wrong, I don't know how much of a difference Saban being there on game day would make either way. It's going to be intriguing, don't get me wrong, and he could do the ass chewings and everything up and down on anybody, but he doesn't call plays offensively. That's Steve Sarkisian. He doesn't call plays defensively. He'll offer game plan adjustments, whatever it is.
Yeah, but there's something about his I think there's
you're
something
right.
about his presence that spurs that program on to
absolutely
do their best
100%
every single week. Here's an interesting text here from a Georgia fan who lives in Fayetteville. He's got his moniker Harry Dog. I like that one. He's a big-time Georgia fan. He says if Saban's not there and Georgia wins, it doesn't count. I mean, it counts in the standings, right, this year. It counts for Georgia's program. Does it count as a win for a former Saban assistant against Nick Saban? No. I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
I don't either. I completely agree.
Well, I mean, it should be a great game one way or the other.
Oh, it's good. And I think also when you look at it, too, just from a football perspective, I think it was – I don't remember where I heard this. It might have been Saturday Down South or something reading it. Even the winner or loser of this game is still in really good spot because more than likely the way the standings will probably come out, you'll see this matchup again, the SEC championship game. So if Georgia was to fall and then they run the table and finish the year 9-1, 10-1, whatever it may end up being, your season's still intact here. This is regardless of how this thing plays out, and you hope that Saban and Greg Byrne getting it was just a freak deal and they just happened to get it, but everybody else is fine. It's going to be a hell of a game this coming Saturday. On both sides.
That's the only night game that CBS televises this year. So you bet your bottom dollar, and CBS is hoping that there are no more positive.
Is Alabama LSU not a prime time
today? Well, CBS gets one game that they can move to evening prime time. This is it. This is it. Speaking of broadcasts, Arkansas Ole Miss has been moved to the SEC network. So I think they were supposed to be on ESPN2. I mean, essentially, if you get ESPN and ESPN2, you get the SEC network. It's just a different channel number or whatever it is. Though, I mean, I use YouTube TV, so it doesn't have channel numbers anyway. I don't even know what number it is. See the broadcasters of this game. Tara Talmadge will be back on the sideline. I think Tara's going to be the only, and Tara's actually up in Jonesboro tonight. Arkansas State and Georgia State, I think, are playing. Thursday night, Sunbelt fun. So I think Tara's up there tonight. She'll be at the game Saturday, and I think she'll be the only actual broadcaster in the stadium because I believe the other two will be elsewhere because Dave Fleming is doing play-by-play. He's San Francisco-based. I mean, he's one of the radio voices of the San Francisco Giants, along with doing Pac-12 basketball and football. Rod Gilmore will be the analyst. Fleming's terrific. I got to know Dave, actually. It was 20 years ago. We spent a season with separate teams in the California League. Each of us spent 1 year in that league. I worked in Stockton, California. Dave worked in Visalia, California. And then the next year, I moved to Little Rock, took the job with the Travs. Fleming moved to Pawtucket, Rhode Island, which was the AAA of the Red Sox. And then, like 3 years later, he's hired by the Giants. So you want to talk about making the most of your break? John Miller was still doing ESPN Sunday Night Baseball then, so Miller would take Sunday games off. And on the East Coast, the Giants hired Fleming for one Sunday game against the Phillies. And a no-hitter was thrown in that game. And he called it. I mean, this isn't the reason he was hired by the Giants, essentially. He's just a great broadcaster. He's been with the Giants ever since. So I won't be at the football game on Saturday. I'll be watching from home because I think Ty and Andy have the credentials for ESPN Arkansas and Hit That Line. But I'll get a kick out of watching Dave Fleming calling the game with Arkansas. And to be honest, I don't think he's ever been to the state of Arkansas. But he will be virtually this weekend.
Virtually there.
That's right. We'll be virtually with you during the second hour here on Halftime. We've got our halftime homer coming up after the break. Mike Neighbors as well during hour number 2. And here's a hint for your halftime homework. We'll be talking sports over top a little New Jack Swing. Stay tuned.
The biggest selection and the lowest prices on a new Buick are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2020 Buick Encore has plenty of cargo space, and it's loaded with technology, only $19,995. And the 2020 Buick Envision has all the features and seating for 5. Take $9,000 off, only $28,985. The biggest selection and the lowest prices are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there is a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told ya.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Clear to partly cloudy tonight, and overnight low will drop down into the low 50s. We're going to be partly sunny and cooler as we head through Thursday. Our high will be in the mid to upper 60s by the later part of the afternoon. Thursday night, overnight lows upper 30s to low 40s, and Friday sunny, low 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson. Make sure to listen to The Morning Rush every weekday morning from 6 to 9 on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
I hate everything you just said.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3.
They're hilarious.
These guys are awesome, baby. You can have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
on your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
All right, we moved up the last segment of the show to a little earlier, so we can get into it a little bit more. And I'm looking forward I always look forward to Halftime Homework just because it's so much fun to be a professor of pop culture for those who aren't old enough to appreciate some of these things. Matty T is well, you're old enough to appreciate it. You don't know a lot of these.
I was going to say
that's correct. That's what I mean.
I was going to say I appreciate what we're fixing to talk about here. I'm not Ty Richardson.
Ty Richardson couldn't appreciate some of those things. You know, he tried to in some cases, and then others I just don't think he could. But so I sent a text. SmackDown, what year are you born?
93. I'm a 93 model.
93.
I was 10 years earlier.
A lot of these songs came out after, before you were born, before you were even an inkling in Mama and and Papa SmackDown's loins.
Yeah, baby.
This is the stuff that I grew up with, man. And when I think of these songs, I think of awkward middle school dances and even more awkward high school dances, where you just you pretty much stayed on the back of the wall until you gathered up enough courage to go find somebody to dance with, and basically life sounded a lot like this. All right, now you have no idea what this group is right here, SmackDown. I know that for sure.
How do you New Edition?
No. Well, we will have some New Edition on this little thing I put together.
Let me hear for. Should I know who this is?
I don't think so. I think people know the song. You just don't know the group.
If you're not bad enough.
That's right. Bad with two D's.
Oh, it's Destiny's Child. Okay, got it.
Absolutely wrong. No, yeah. No, this is Color Me Bad with two D's.
Oh.
It was four guys. One of them, three of the white guys looked like other stars. One of them looked like George Michael. Another one of them looked like Kenny G. And the other dude looked like a cross between Vanilla Ice and Snow.
Was it Color Me Bad? Is this what you called them?
This is Color Me Bad.
All right. That's what they called themselves.
Yeah. I got to tell you what, though. I listened to this album a lot. It was my sister's album, but I did put it in the cassette player a few times. I Want to Sex You Up is what this is called, my friend.
Okay. What year was it? Was this late 80s, early 90s?
This is a very subtle title.
Yeah, very. Now, New Jack Swing really is about a backbeat. You can hear it in the back of every single song, no matter what speed it's coming at, whether it's fast, whether it's slow. You'll hear it here. This is Johnny Gill. Now, most of these songs are about sex. It's just easy to put it out there, okay? Almost every song about New Jack Swing was either about sex or about their upbringings. When you talk like Boys to Men. And we do have Motown Philly.
They were from
Motown
Philly, yes.
This song is called Rub You the Right Way. So you go ahead and tell me what that's about.
Oh, God.
Yep. You can imagine the awkwardness of the high school dances with this playing in the background. Okay, now there's...
Oh, yeah. I can see this. Because he got the...
This is Jodeci.
I've heard of Jodeci before.
Yeah, this is the portion of the broadcast. That's right.
Put the kids to bed for
See,
this.
J 877-377-6963. What is your favorite New Jack Swing song? I put 9 of them on this little compilation that's going to take us through the end of this segment.
I don't think this was New Jack Swing, but when I was in 6th grade at our school dance, the song was popular, I'll Make Love to You. And we were a bunch of 6th graders slow dancing.
Everybody knows this one. This is Bobby Brown.
Mr. Whitney Houston.
Now, like, the biggest progenitors of New Jack Swing were New Edition and Tony.
Tony
and
spelled
Biv
three
DeVoe,
different
too.
ways, right?
Right, and Belle Biv DeVoe. New Edition, of course, eventually broke up into individual solo acts, of which Bobby Brown was the biggest. Ralph Tresvant, Johnny Gill. And I'm really excited to have Mike Neighbors on later on in this show because Mike is a lover of New Jack Swing as well.
You got a text in here on the 501, but they want you to turn up the music a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little low.
I'll do just that. Hold on a moment.
They want you to pump up the jam.
Pump up the volume.
Pump it up. Pump it up.
There we go.
Now, yeah, I can feel that in my soul.
It's the way that I want to live. Okay, now this is Jade.
Jade.
I
feel like I've heard of Jade before.
You got to highlight the female groups, too.
Yes.
SWV, Sisters with Voices, En Vogue. Oh, boy, I had a thing for En Vogue growing up. Oh, man.
Would Belle Biv DeVoe be in there?
Absolutely. I didn't put them in here, but BBD is without question New Jack Swing. Yeah. And they influenced a lot of those artists. You hear it in Motown Philly. They're called ABC BBD. Remember that? That BBD is Belle Biv DeVoe.
Jason in Frankfurt says his favorite one is Just Got Paid by Johnny Kemp.
Yeah, BE, you're right. These songs are definitely not on Clay Travis's playlist. Or any other Sports Talks playlist right now. Now
This was the same. This was a huge album from Boyz II Men. Every song was a hit, I think.
This was revolutionary, really.
This is
This
Motown
felt
Philly,
revolutionary. This is Motown Philly
Yeah.
from the original album from Boyz II Men. I'm going to need you, SmackDown. At some point next week, you're going to have to play back. I need you to find 3 New Jack Swing songs that are not here and tell me which ones you like the most.
All right.
Jason's right, too. This is How We Do It by
That's a
Montel
good
Jordan.
song.
That's like the back end. That's like one of the last New Jack Swing songs. And do you remember the movie with Wesley Snipes and Chris Rock, New Jack City? There's a whole culture of New Jack whatever from the late 80s and early 90s, and nothing sounds like this anymore.
Kids don't even understand how much, which I've heard a lot of these songs before. The kids don't even understand. The music was so much better.
Yeah. And
80s, 90s.
They might not be here if it weren't for this music.
Okay, now this song is for all of you guys that were constantly in the friend zone. 90,
yes.
91, 92.
Yes, play it louder.
You know who you are. This is Ralph Tresvant. This is like the ultimate friend zone song. And if I'm going to take it to sports for a moment, when I'm listening to these songs, this music, I'm thinking Bills losing 4 Super Bowls in a row, Pirates losing 3 consecutive National League Championship Series, Penguins winning a couple of Stanley Cups, like Colorado won a national championship in football, for crying out loud.
What?
So did Georgia Tech. Things were different in the early 90s. But now here's New Edition. This was one of the earlier New Jack Swing songs.
I don't recognize this one.
New Edition. Bobby Brown was in New Edition, right?
Yeah.
This is called If It Isn't Love. You know this song. Lover? What?
I think we need.
Isn't that an incredible beat in the background there from a
Really
Casio keyboard?
This has the feel of like 1980s and 1990s written all over it.
Well, there's a reason for that, because this pretty much encapsulates late 80s, early 90s hip hop. It all sounded like New Jack Swing, unless it was gangster rap.
Speaking of Casios, whatever happened to the like a keytar? It was like a keyboard guitar combo.
Oh yeah,
those need to come back. Those are really.
You're right. The keytar.
Got a text in here on YouTube. Cody Honey says "Opposites Attract" by Paula Abdul.
Ooh, good one.
All right, now this is the last one that I've got. This would be your Tony with the 3 different spellings. And that's the greatest lyric in the history of New Jack Swing music. And you can New Jack Swing on my Can't say it. We'll take this into the break. 877-377-6963. That was fun, reliving some late 80s,
Can
early
we do
90s.
this more often?
Why not? We need a third hour. It won't be all music, but it'll be all fun. By the way, if you have sleep apnea and you're tired of dealing with a CPAP every single night, call Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith. They'll help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance. We'll get rid of that annoying CPAP. Been doing it for years. Tons of experience. Treated hundreds of patients just like you. 479-785-1419 for Dr. Bo Sparkman and Family Dental Care of Fort Smith. Get rid of that CPAP, but stick with the New Jack Swing.
Everything here. Give me that thing here.
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield. The 40, the 30. College at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
As you can tell, this means a lot, you know.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Fall is here, and fall fishing is a great way to get outdoors and enjoy the fall season. Gelco Outdoors has all the gear to make your day on the water a success. Rods, reels, bait, clothing, footwear, and much more for the angler. Just arrived. A new shipment of Old Town canoes and fishing kayaks. You can paddle or pedal, or now the new fishing kayaks with trolling motors. Check out the new Old Town kayaks at Gelco Outdoors. And remember, a great day fishing begins at Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold. Or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
This year's Value Bonanza sales event at Alma Tractor and Alma gives you more ways to save. Choose 0% financing, cashback, and more on select New Holland tractors, hay and forage products, and material handling equipment. These offers end December 31st, so make the trip to Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma today. You get more choices and more savings when you buy during Value Bonanza.
For commercial use only, customer participation subject to credit qualification with CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
Hardee's introduces the new prime rib and cheddar Angus thick burger, a charbroiled burger so delicious you have to see it to believe it. But seeing as you can't see it, I'll describe it. There's a juicy charbroiled 100% Angus beef patty cooked over fire, topped with sliced prime rib. That's right, premium prime rib on charbroiled Angus beef. And on top of that, melted cheddar cheese sauce. So what are you waiting for? Try the new prime rib and cheddar Angus thick burger from Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
B&J Comfort Solutions provides home comfort and energy solutions to the River Valley, specializing in residential sales, service, and installation, offering only the absolute best customer service around. Call them for any of your service, maintenance, or replacement needs. B&J Comfort Solutions offer an industry-leading 5-year labor warranty on all new system installations. Veteran-owned and operated, and satisfaction is always guaranteed. Contact B&J Comfort Solutions today at 479-646-0284.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work, real work, working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
This is ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins. Want more Halftime? Make sure to listen to the Halftime Pod, presented by Jeff's Clubhouse, Fort Smith's premier place for lunch, brunch, and catering. Give them a call at 479-308-9123. The Halftime Pod is available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
We are everywhere. You're like the ocean's waves.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Smackdown.
Oh, I got a lot of reasons to be excited right now.
What's that?
One of them is the Arkansas baseball team starts the fall series tomorrow.
I wanted to ask you about that and let the listeners know what was going on because I saw this is going to be on the SEC Network. So,
well, SEC Network Plus. It'll be available on your wherever you get your Plus broadcasting. I don't know, but most TVs can do it now. So yeah, they do this every year. Except I think the last season and the season before. I don't think they played full fall series because they were playing fall exhibitions against other schools. I think it was Oklahoma last year, and then the year before they traveled to Little Rock and played against the Trojans. But you can't do that right now under the pandemic. So instead, back to the old tradition of the Fall Baseball World Series, which usually coincides with a bye week for Razorback football, and that's exactly what it does. So it starts tomorrow. That's the only game that won't be quasi-televised. Saturdays, they're not playing because of football. And then next week, you get Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and then an off day Thursday. Next Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be 5, 6, and 7. So they will play all 7 games. I know Brett Dolan and Troy Eklund will have the SEC Plus telecasts for games 2, 3, and 4. I will be on the call with Bubba for games 5, 6, and 7. And so I'm really excited about being able to get back to Baum-Walker Stadium, be in the booth with Bubba, and actually broadcast a baseball game and fight with Bubba for about 4 hours, which I really miss doing.
I was going to say we need to break your rust off here next week sometime to make sure you still got the chops to call Razorback baseball.
Well, the one thing I've not called a game on television before, and they're only using like one camera angle, which is the high home camera. So I guess Bubba and I can make it up if it goes down the baselines because nobody can see it at that point. So I guess I'll have to be more truthful than usual on these broadcasts.
You can hit the foul poles and everything else.
I don't know what you speak of with these foul poles. What is that? We're getting into that at some point, like probably every broadcast. I won't be the one that brings it up. I'm going to wait for Bubba to make fun of me, and then I'll answer back. Of course, also you get Arkansas basketball getting practice started right now. We still don't have any information about scheduling for women's or men's basketball. We do know when the SEC season will start, just before New Year's Eve. The women's team starts on New Year's Eve, but we don't have any other full information, or at least published information, released information on non-conference games. So I guess they still have to find a way to finalize everything. But hey, season starts in like 6 weeks.
Well, I figured
on it, right?
That, and I figured with yesterday being the opening day for practices and the press conferences and everything that they would have had it ready. But obviously, with everything changing, and there's probably a lot of hurdles that they got to get over. So maybe we'll be. I would figure we'll see one here pretty quick, wouldn't you think?
You would, but
I mean,
on the other hand,
normal circumstances, we already would by this point, right? If everything was completely normal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we would have known the schedule a month ago. Okay. Yeah, but as of now, this just you can't finalize everything. Plus, you had to blow up the entire non-conference schedule and start from scratch. But they are practicing. That's exciting enough. And we've got some sound from Eric Musselman and a couple of the newer Arkansas players on what they expect to see during practice and what's impressed them. So let's get to some of this sound. Here's Eric Musselman on a Zoom press conference previewing the next couple of weeks of practice.
The way that we structure our practices are different. The contact and us not just doing station work, there's a lot more live activity. There's a lot more competition because of the number of bodies we have this year. Plus, we're still trying to figure out so many different things, like what is the exact style of play that fits this team offensively? What style of play are we going to be able to do schematically, defensively? What's our special teams look like, meaning after free throws? both defensively, and if the opposition is shooting a foul shot, what type of offense are we going to come out of a free throw situation? So I think all that stuff we're really trying to figure out. And then obviously, trying to figure out rotations and who's a go-to player late game. And, a lot of that stuff's going to evolve in the non-conference play as well. But we're, with so many new faces, we're searching and we're a work in progress for sure.
And SmackDown, it can't be any surprise that, when you have so many newcomers, what is it, 10? If we're counting guys that weren't playing last year for Arkansas. I know you had 3 of them that sat on the bench as transfers but couldn't play. I'll count them as newcomers. There's so much to learn about this team.
Absolutely.
So much to learn about this team. And it's like Muss last year had a lot to learn about a much smaller group of players in his first year. But it seems to me one thing I really appreciate about Muss, and I've always picked up on this from Dave Van Horn and a lot of very, very good coaches, they will adjust their style of coaching or the strategy they want to implement based upon the personnel. And you can hear that in Muss's words. How fast are they going to play? What style defense are they going to play? This and that. It all depends. It all depends on what meshes, what personnel work together properly, And this also, I think, gives you a window into the future of this basketball program because for sure the way Eric Musselman builds teams, you're going to have a lot of players coming in each year and maybe some going each year too. This is just going to be a fluid roster, it feels, year by year. I have a feeling the style that he wants each team to play will be different because I don't know if Muss just has a style that's his. I think his style is adjusting for what he thinks works for the personnel.
And isn't that what makes the best coaches in college basketball? Because
in some cases, coaches can just pick players based upon the style and go that way.
Fair.
That's what Mike Neighbors does. Mike also, I found him to be very good the first year, taking another coach's team, essentially Jimmy's team, and adjusting his style a little bit for that personnel. Now, 3 years later, he's got his players there,
right?
And it's not as fluid of a situation with a women's basketball team. But I have a sense, I think Muss's style will change year in, year out.
I look at it as more of a positive than a negative, like with the styles changing each and every year, just because, like you just said, whereas last year's team may not be able to run what this year's team did because they were smaller, the bench wasn't as deep, and you saw Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe go for 35, 36, 37-plus minutes. He's got a roster now, and he's got a bench that you could go, I don't know, he ain't going to go 12 deep. I could be wrong. He very well might go 12 deep. He has that option, though. And he could run a more aggressive style of man-to-man defense, full court press, whatever he wants to do. This team is long enough. This team is athletic enough. I believe it was Justin Smith, which we'll play some audio for him here in a second. I believe it was Justin Smith talking about – no, it's Musselman, excuse me. J.D. Notae's played really well during these first preseason practices. Justin Smith also mentioned Moses Moody really shooting the ball well. This team is going to be fun to watch. And, my God, it's a shame that Bud Walton Arena can't be filled up to the brim to watch this team go. But this team, he's got – to me, it's a great problem for Musselman to have to try to figure out what kind of style best matches what this team can do. They're long, they're athletic, they can shoot, they can get rebounds, and I think they got some speed that they can run up and down the floor and cause a lot of problems defensively.
What you do have to wonder about the ability to develop team chemistry with all these newcomers in a short period of time. Here's Justin Smith, the transfer from Indiana University, on developing that and who's impressed him.
I'd say we've done a really good job of getting to know each other, especially with a team with so many new moving pieces. It is a little bit difficult, to kind of get used to each other and get used to playing with each other. But I think we've done a good job so far, and we'll use these official practices to really get to know each other a little bit more on the floor and really build, team chemistry while playing. A lot of us have really been impressive. I'd say Moses has been really shooting the ball really well. JT has been, doing his thing out there. Just a good mix of players, doing a lot of different things.
I'm gonna go ahead and play Jalen Tate's because it also goes into that same aspect with players meshing at different things. Here's Jalen Tate on the similar subject.
For a team that's had this many new guys, if you came into the gym, you would not, notice it. Our team camaraderie is definitely coming along a lot over the short stint of time that we've been here, and just going through it, every single day. You see guys working. That's the culture we built here. So, you know what I mean? And we're always happy for each other and each other's success. So it's definitely going to be competitive. That's anywhere, though. Everybody gets their own set role. And, some people have to buy into those, whether it be a big defender on the team or, a playmaker or shooter, stuff like that. So practices are super competitive. Nobody ever wants to lose. For a team that's...
So that was Jalen Tate.
It's really interesting, too, SmackDown, because when you're coming in as a newcomer, you've got to feel both ways about this. One, you really want to impress your coach. You want to impress your coach. You want to impress your teammates. And so you're going to go as hard as you possibly can. But at the same time, if you're developing chemistry amongst a team of almost complete newcomers, you've got to be able to check your ego at the door.
Absolutely.
And mesh, so you got to have it both ways here. That can be very difficult to do. So the tone that the coach sets is pretty important. I think Muss usually does a good job of that. Speaking of coaches that set the tone, none does it better than Mike Neighbors. He's with us next on Halftime.
Hey, this is David Owen with Washita Farms. We grow hemp in Central Arkansas and process it into full-spectrum CBD products. Washita Farms products are affordably priced and available online or conveniently located at nearly 200 stores across the state. All Washita Farms CBD products are tested at C-Pill Labs in Little Rock to ensure that you will always get what you expect. Find us online today and use this code at checkout.
Washita Farms! Go to WashitaFarms.com and use code WPS15 at checkout of your purchase.
Morning.
How'd you get in my house, B?
Through the air conditioning vent. It's dark in there.
Go away.
How about some Honey Nut Cheerios?
Cheerios? Do I look like a child to you?
Honey Nut Cheerios are tasty and can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet. Did you just
No.
I'm pretty sure I heard a
It was my dryer.
You might want to get that thing checked out.
Have a change of heart. Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
It's a free weekend at World of Wireless. Call toll-free 877-305-DISH for the local guys at World of Wireless for all the free extras when you get Dish Now with World of Wireless.
Call us at World of Wireless or come by our new location in Barling right next to Frank Rowe Furniture. It's right at the light next to Frank Rowe Furniture. Or call us at 877-305-DISH. And it's been a while since we've talked about all the free stuff. We just load you up with free stuff when you sign up for Dish here at World of Wireless. And for example, we will give you the voice remote free in every single room.
Those are so handy.
Free next day installation. Hopper Smart DVR included in every room in the house. And what's more important, we haven't talked a lot about this, the Google Assistant. So if you have any Google products in your home, you have internet in your home, you can speak to your remote and tell it to turn down your thermostat. You can speak to your remote. You don't have to yell across the room. You just push the button on your remote. Speak to it, not just to change your channels, but to control your house.
All right, get all the free extras when you call WOW now. 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for the local guys at World of Wireless.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7. RandallFord.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
For the month of October, Frank Bro Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frank Bro Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October. We also offer in-store no credit check financing, delivery, and service after the sale. At Frank Bro Furniture, we are family owned and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made in the USA products as possible. Remember, in October, no sales tax at Frank Bro Furniture, your made in the USA headquarters, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Frank Bro Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing. Who in this party's off the hook?
Keep winning with the latest download of the Halftime Podcast presented by Jeff's Clubhouse. And keep up with everything happening in Razorback Land at hitthatline.com. It'll make you feel good.
I feel fantastic!
Like goat good.
I'm gonna prove I'm the greatest. We're gonna prove to the world I'm the greatest.
Of course he's the GOAT. May not be the boat. The best of all time.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. I'm going to eat some raw meat and I'm going to train. I'm gonna get ready and chop some more trees.
Greatest coach in the history of college football.
He is the GOAT, clearly.
There's no one can stop me. I'm the best ever. Today, I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you. Ain't no shame in my game, girl. Some men may cheat, some men may lie.
Mike, always good talking with you, no matter what it is we're talking about. How's your Thursday going?
It is off to a great start, and we hadn't even had basketball practice yet.
So it can only get better then, I guess. Before we get into a chat about the team and other things too, it's worth mentioning the situation yesterday. And I think what I really would rather touch on more than anything was the coordinated response from your team, from your players, from you. And for me, it seemed that what happened yesterday can be a galvanizing experience for this team. Just the way they responded, the way they backed Aaron up, the way you did the same thing. Yeah. And I've seen moments at the start of seasons that kind of tore teams apart. This, to me, is totally the opposite.
Yeah, it could, like you said, be that galvanizing piece. You could sense it when we all got together. Everybody had their mornings to go about. Everybody had class. Everybody had responsibilities. We all found out about it, in different ways. I woke up to it. And, with Bowen, we've been going to bed a little bit earlier. So I woke up to it. And I think anybody that knows me knows I'm a little bit protective when it comes to our kids. So thanks to our administration and Mario and Kyle Parkinson, they helped us craft, like you said, a coordinated message. But our players was all authentic and real. None of that was coordinated, contrived. That was players coming out in support of their teammate. And it carried over to practice. We had a great practice because of it, and I think it's going to be, almost an anthem of our season. I'm not a big motto guy or a big anthem guy, but, man, this is an opportunity. And just to see how it all happened organically and naturally, and like you said, how they came to her defense was awesome.
Well, now let's get into some stuff about this team here. And I read in the Democrat this morning that that the team wants to play faster than before. Mike, I don't know if my head can turn any faster than it did last year. You're telling me I'm going to have to keep it on even a faster swivel? Are you serious? Yeah. How are you going to do that?
Yeah. Well, we've got faster players. Destiny Slocum is as fast a player as I've ever seen with the basketball, and that's knowing that we coached Malika Monk, for a few years. Chelsea's in the best shape she's been in since she's been on campus, the healthiest she's been. Taylor Thomas looks great. Everybody it's another year under their belt, more depth. Marquisha looks great. Destiny Oberg and Destiny McGee have both been in the best form since they've been on campus. And then we mentioned Erin, and she is in the same way basketball-wise as good as she's been. So when you get players that are better and faster, then you're going to play faster. And it's going to happen, Phil. So get ready. You got to get in shape. We need to get you on the treadmill or something, man.
I need to do some neck exercises so I can that neck muscle needs to be a lot faster. Because, I mean, SmackDown, they get the ball down the floor in 3 seconds after a team scores. I mean, you've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it'll be – I'm not sure we can do it much faster than that, but it'll be more often than that, I think. And I think we're taking care of it. Now, there's a long time between now and then, but I really like – you can see it. When you come see us for the first time, there's just a different sound when Slocum attacks the basket than players I've coached in the past, and everybody's revolved around that. When you look around and everybody beside you is going fast, you have a tendency to want to go fast too. So that's kind of been the pace so far.
Yeah, but they also know what they're getting into when they sign with you and come to campus, so they expect to have a whole lot of fun with it. A couple of players that you mentioned that I want to ask about. Because I think with our team, we're thinking about quick guards, really great outside shooting. You do have a couple of young forward/center style players in Destiny McGee and Destiny Oberg. Now, we didn't really get a chance to see Oberg too much last year because of an injury. I saw McGee at practice the other day, and she looks solid as a rock. Are these two players that you feel can contribute this season?
Yeah, and they allow us to play it a different way. If a night gets going that maybe we are turning it over uncharacteristically, or the other team allows us to have a chance to score around the basket, we've got that as a weapon now. And they both have very, very unique skill sets that we've not had in a few years. And I think anybody that's watched us knows that what we're going to do is try to attack mismatches. So go with favorable matchups, and they give us two equations and two variables that we've never had the opportunity to play together. All of the guards want to play with one of them two on her team because they're such instinctive passers, great rebounders, and tremendous screen setters. Good luck trying to get through a screen either one of those people set that for one of our guards to break free into some space. And then they're great kids, both of them. Oberg, because of the injury last year, now knows what to do, and Destiny McGee's learning really, really fast.
Coach Mike Neighbors here with us on Halftime. Coach, when you look at kind of how last season ended, kind of with no NCAA tournament appearance, I was really curious to see what this team could have done in March and heading into April. Where did you, from a roster standpoint, where did you want to see this team improve heading into this 2020 campaign?
Well, I think all of our improvements are going to revolve around the defensive side of the ball and rebounding. The offense is going to take care of itself, and I think offense is what you have to win in the tough games against the best teams. But our defense really made strides last year, largely, due to the fact I turned it all over to Coach Schaefer so he could have 100% focus on it. And his impact on the defense was obviously noticeable. So I think we can continue to make strides there, and our rebounding can always be a little bit better. I don't know that we can necessarily shoot it any better. I don't know that we necessarily play any faster. But I do think at the end of the day we can improve on the other side of the ball.
Obviously, you got your leaders. We talked about Chelsea Dungy and Amber Ramirez. Who are some of these younger players that Razorback fans need to keep an eye on? Obviously, we've talked about Destiny Slocum, and you got a team full of guards and talented guards. Who are some players that Razorback fans need to keep an eye on this season?
She was here all year last year, and I think everybody, including a lot of the coaches in our league, forgot that she was our leader from the point guard spot as a freshman. Michaela Daniels just did so much for us last year that went unnoticed and underappreciated by so many, but not the coaches and not her teammates, and she's better than ever too. So, just look for her. Her and Slocum will play together. Everybody's, questioned whether that was going to be the case, but we're absolutely playing those kids together an awful lot. They are interchangeable and have developed a really, really quick competitive family environment. They try to kill each other every day in practice, and then when we put them on the same team, you see this smile just light up because they don't have to guard each other. But we're expecting big things, and leadership-wise out of her. Even on a team with 7 seniors, then another return is everybody, not forgot, but, we missed Jalen Mason last year a tremendous amount in a lot of ways. One, transition defense. Being our best organizer and, get back talker, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the basketball term for it would be, but she did a lot of that stuff that never shows up in a highlights film or player of the week statuses, but we really, really missed her. So having her back is something that I think fans need to remember what we had and look forward to seeing her. Hell, guys, with that new rule, what we learned yesterday, and that all these kids are going to be granted another year of eligibility, we could have super red shirt COVID seniors. I don't even know what to call these guys. So, our heads are spinning as coaches a little bit, trying to grasp our head around what it would be like to potentially have these guys back again. So we're going to try to just take every single day without anything for granted, because last year having it stripped away from us was really hard. None of us want to go through that. So trying to appreciate the days for what they are has been a huge focus for the kids.
One more basketball thing, and then I'll get to some of the fun stuff with you here. You mentioned some of the things about Jalen Mason, transition defense, as a guard that handles the ball so often. And I know she spoke at her graduation, and she is in communications. She's in communication. The things that she does, kind of aside from the physical nature of what she has to do, she's the best communicator on this team, isn't she?
She is, and it's things like using very simple language. She doesn't waste her words, and I think that's something she's learned in a lot of different ways. But you can hear she'll use one syllable. She'll say, Mac, ball, Taylor, rim, Amber, lock. It's just so specific. It's just almost foolproof. You almost just can't screw it up if you just listen to her and react to what she's doing. It makes it almost impossible to be wrong, because she puts you in such a position to be right.
A couple more minutes here with Mike Neighbors. All right, Mike, let's switch over. We did New Jack Swing for halftime homework.
Yes.
Prepped you on it before the show today. And Mike Neighbors, for all the rock and roll and stuff like that, and Hamilton and Broadway songs that he knows, I think at his heart is New Jack Swing. Is that correct, Mike?
It is. If I've been through many phases in my life, but the phase that probably 87, that first time I heard Bobby Brown's CD of "Don't Be Cruel," it changed exactly how it changed how I dressed. I wanted starter jackets and Air Jordans, and I just fell in love with all of it. And then the number of songs that came after that, new additions, and it's deep in my playbook, that's for sure.
You still got any of those wild sweaters, like Cosby sweaters and stuff like that Keenan Ivory Wayans would wear in Living Color?
Absolutely.
That kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, I've got them all. I've got starter jackets. I've got the Adidas. I went through that phase big time, and the music still. Every time I hear Al B. Sure come on day and night, it's a do not skip, do not pass go. Listen to it start to finish.
What a song that is. How's Bowen doing? How many pencils can you fit on in the fat rolls right now?
There were 5 in that picture I posted the other night, but I think we could have gone 7 if you let me use the one on the leg. So he's actually sitting here right now with me. I brought Chantel and JC out to play a quick 9 holes of golf before we hit the practice floor today. So he's in the cart, and he's waiting for me to hit. I got 181 into a par 5 because Chantel just blasted her drive. So hopefully I can get us on the green in 2.
All right, well, why don't you go get to it, man? We'll let you finish out the round, and always appreciate your time.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
Good, guys. See y'all later.
You got it. Mike Neighbors, just before he hits on the par 4. I think Chantel Osahor could probably rip that thing a good 350 yards. Oh, boy, that was a lot of fun talking with Mike Neighbors. You'll also have a lot of fun if you head over to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge this weekend. They have been showing Arkansas games on the big screen. Also great music and live events that you can learn about on the 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge Facebook page. Just search for 906 Lounge on Facebook, and it pops right up there for you. Find all their menu items, all the great food, and they have Rain Kings performing tomorrow night from 8 until midnight. They'll be open to 1 tomorrow and on Saturday, and should be a lot of fun at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Sample, indulge, and escape. And we wrap the show up right after this.
The biggest selection and the lowest.
Month of October, Frank Pro Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frank Pro Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October.
We also offer in-store no credit check financing, delivery service, and service after the sale. At Franco Furniture, we are family-owned and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made-in-the-USA products as possible.
Remember, in October, no sales tax at Franco Furniture, your made-in-the-USA headquarters. Franco Furniture, best seats in the house.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
For the month of October, Franco Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Franco Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October.
We also offer in-store no-credit check financing, delivery service, and service after the sale. At Franco Furniture, we are family-owned and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made-in-the-USA products as possible.
Remember, in October, no sales tax at Franco Furniture, your made-in-the-USA headquarters. Franco Furniture, best seats in the house.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Bennett gives him the ball. Why hit right at the line of scrimmage? It's going to depend on the spot. Arkansas says he didn't make it. It depends on where they put the ball down. Georgia looks like they've conceded. Arkansas holds, and they're going to get the football back.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
All right, time to finger a winner for the Hardee's Lunch Bunch Smackdown. We're giving away Hardee's burgers to some lucky, hungry workers at a company somewhere in Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley. Take it away.
Before I tell you guys the winner for this week's Hardee's Lunch Bunch, you can head to hitthatline.com. Excuse me. Good Lord wanted me to burp real quick before I did that. Head to hitthatline.com. You can get registered every day, once every day, for the Hardee's Lunch Bunch giveaway. We'll have a winner each and every Thursday right here on Halftime at this very exact second. You can win lunch for your office group, your job site, you name it. Hardee's in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley will have you covered for lunch. And I was talking to Maddie T during the break. I'm extremely hungry right now, so me talking about Hardee's is not doing me any favors right now getting this thing done. All right, that's enough bitter batter. The winner of this week's Hardee's Lunch Bunch is Brian Porteroff of Arvest Bank in Fort Smith. Brian Porteroff. I hope I'm saying your last name right. If I'm not, I give my sincere apologies to you, my good sir. Brian Porteroff of Arvest Bank in Fort Smith. You're this week's Hardee's Lunch Bunch winner.
Never been more popular in the workplace than right now.
No. I would be.
All right, so make sure you enter to win next week. We'll do it again next week. So best game in the NFL this weekend? They got a good one with Kansas City and Buffalo. That'll be a fun one. That's a Monday night game. You got 2 Monday games again. 2 Monday games. Kansas City, Buffalo, Arizona, Dallas. Best game, those Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Going to be the best game of the weekend.
Just because of the rivalry aspect of it?
Well, no, because Cleveland actually has a halfway decent-looking team right now that they can compete.
Well, they only beat the Cowboys by 3, so I don't know how decent they truly. Oh no, excuse me, they beat them by 9. I'm sorry.
Well, and who knows about this coming down just a few moments ago. Odell Beckham Jr. has been sent home from the Browns practice facility with an illness, an undisclosed illness. It took a COVID test Thursday before leaving, and then Kevin Stefanski, their coach, said they'd know the results by Friday. So they might be down one of their better ball handlers, Cleveland, and this would be a year that I think that I already said I think the Steelers will beat the Browns and the Bengals each twice. Cleveland's got a halfway decent team though, so I think the Steelers would crush the Bungles. As far as the Cleve Sandlotters, it'll be a much different game. Although if they don't have Beckham, they still have some other weapons. And we'll see what happens with that. All right, so there's been no new news about this Arkansas-Ole Miss game. I'm anticipating, if this is all about another round of tests tomorrow, we'll know tomorrow sometime, and they're not going to announce the game's on. They only make an announcement if the game's off. So I guess, sometime in the next 24 hours, pretty important because – hey, we've got things to worry about. We got shows to host.
Yeah.
And people have got plans. I think you've got another 17,000 person crowd planning on coming inside the stadium, all socially distanced like before.
Well, from a radio perspective, from in our shoes, Matty T's our programmer. He gets everything suited up and ready to go for you listening out there, whether it was during the summertime when we did the Razorback Classic games and everything. Maddie takes care of that, and along with all of our secretaries out in the front. We from a programming perspective, Maddie, we got to get this thing figured out here pretty quick.
Yeah, that'd be nice, but it is what it is.
It's fine.
A couple hours away from the Astros and Rays Game 5 American League Championship. Rays leading at 3-1. Did you see where Dusty Baker leaves Zach Greinke in to finish out the 6th inning? So he leaves bases loaded in a critical moment. I doubt Dusty would have let any other pitcher on that team convince him to leave him out there. And then, of course, if the Braves are in the playoffs, they're going to give up like 10 or 11 runs in one inning. My gosh. It happened to them last year against St. Louis, and it happened yesterday against the Dodgers. Is that the sort of thing that can crush the Braves? And now they've got to trust a rookie pitcher, Bryce Wilson, who had made 7 Major League starts in his lifetime against Clayton Kershaw, who was scratched for Game 2 with that sore back, but he's healthy and ready to go. And for those who say, hey, he's got this history of pitching like garbage in the NLCS, I have a feeling Kershaw's going to go out there and shove because he's been great this season. He's been even better so far in the postseason. And I have a feeling he's going to even the series for the Dodgers and Braves later on tonight, 7 o'clock. All right, one more thing we got to get to, though. Great place to watch the Arkansas football game Saturday. Place I love watching football on Sunday, Monday night, whatever. Head on over to Buffalo Wild Wings because chicken wings and football work together hand in wing.
They really do. And Thursday night football tonight with the NFL, you got that on. I think Sun Belt action's also tonight. So you got plenty of football you can watch tonight. You can head over there for Boneless Thursday for the sauced nugs / boneless chicken wing deal that they got going on. Hit up all 4 of their new sauces that we've talked about here a lot. The pizza sauce, lemon pepper, orange sauce of the Carolina Reaper, which is Phil Elson's favorite. Maddie, what's your favorite? I'm a honey.
I like
barbecue
mango
guy.
habanero.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're a lot tougher than I am. Because y'all anyway. Make sure you head to B-Dubs today. You got all kinds of different options between burgers, quesadillas, chips, salsa, you name it. B-Dubs has it.
Isn't it buy one get one?
It's buy one get one free. That's
Yeah.
boneless Thursday. I got the boneless Tuesday. I'm trying. What other
sauced nug Thursday? Get it right.
Sorry,
my bad. We need to call B-Dubs and voice that boneless chicken wings are not a thing.
Nobody ever wants to listen to my marketing ideas, and I have this theory about this Mexican pizza thing that Taco Bell is doing.
Yeah, I like the name you came up with that.
All they're going to do, guys, is just keep the thing on the menu and change the name to something else. That's what they're doing, because it's not a real pizza.
Any
You have to
suggestions?
remember that. It's a
What do you propose naming it?
Open face torta.
Open face
Something
torta. Okay.
Open face Mexican sandwich. I don't know. There's no way they can get rid of this thing. And you are about to try one sometime today, right? You said you put that on the rundown.
I did. Well,
for the halftime homework that you wanted to assign yourself, aside from finding your 3 favorite New Jack Swing songs now, is to eat, as you call it, a Taco Bell pizza. You know what it's really called.
It's a crunch wrap.
It's the Mexican pizza. That's what
it's the same damn difference. But I brought it up yesterday in YouTube. I fell out of your chairs that I hadn't tried one yet, and
today's the day.
Today's the day.
And can you post a picture on Twitter when you?
I was going to do that, or I was going to go live.
My employers
maybe
must
try to get some
me.
of the swag.
My employers must really hate me because I work in this industry in which sponsors pay to have their company and products mentioned on broadcasts and shows, and yet on the baseball broad, you think peanut M&Ms pay for sponsorships? No, I just for some reason have a thing for them. You think Taco Bell pays for a sponsorship on this show? No.
Nope, but we're doing the citizens of this great country a favor.
That's right. We're doing services for you.
Yes.
That's right. Lots of fun, guys, today. Lots of fun. Tomorrow, we'll have Aaron Torres and the radio voice of Ole Miss Athletics, the one and only David Kellum. So it should be a lot of fun as we preview, hopefully, an Arkansas Ole Miss football game. And now for SmackDown and Matty T, this is Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
Up to $6,500 in savings on 2020 Ford Escape, Fusions, and Edge.